Hey, it's Charlene. Welcome back to my channel. I told you guys I was going to come back with these videos and I want to try to hit them back to back as much as I can because I know I haven't been posting at all and I don't want to leave you guys hanging like I did last time. And if you're new here, my name is Charlene. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so you never miss a post. And if you want to follow me on all my social media, I'll go ahead and have that in the description below. But yeah, welcome to my channel. I want to tell you guys about a dream I've been having since I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. I don't know why I've been having this dream. I don't know how, or like I said, why, but I grew up in St. Michael's, Arizona. That's like where I'm originally from. That's where my grandparents used to live, like long time ago. That's where most of my mom and my aunts and uncles, they grew up in the area. But there's this area, if you're from that area or you're around the area, you know where St. Michael's is at. You know, there's a place, it's called the Summit. It's between St. Michael's and Ganado, Arizona. Like in between that area, there's a big wooded area. And when I was little, we would go up there to take walks. We would go up there just to drive around. We would go up there to go like piñon picking. I think my grandparents or my grandmother or I think my uncle had friends that lived up in the area. So we would go up in the area, not a lot, but frequently. We would go up there and I would go along and, you know, they would visit and they would do whatever they needed to do up there, talk to the people, or we'd do whatever we did as a family up there. But this dream, I remember having it when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and it would be with one of my uncles and my mom, and we had this gold truck. I think it was like a 76, between a 76 and 83, a Chevy, like a Chevy pickup. It was a gold Chevy pickup, and we would go up there, and it would always be nighttime. It was always nighttime when I would have this dream. Like the time frame would be at night. And I know it was like a trailer, like a white trailer we would be coming from, but the truck would always be parked like maybe a half mile down this dirt road. Like we would have to walk to that trailer and then walk back to the truck when we were done. And I would have this dream like maybe 2-3 times in a month, maybe. Like it was like really frequent for me to have that dream, and I would be so afraid to go up there, especially at night. I wouldn't even want to get out of the truck if we went up there. Like it was so bad to the point where I was actually afraid to be in the area when I was younger. And this this dream, like when I used to have it when I was little, it would be this, I would hear this whistle sound, like this really high-pitched whistle sound, and I would tell my mom and my uncle, like, we need to hurry, like I want to go home, can we please hurry? And I would be walking hand in hand on both sides, like my uncle would be on this side and my mom would be on this side, walking with me, holding my hands, and they would be talking, having a conversation. I really don't remember their conversation, but to myself, I remember being afraid. I remember trying to like get out of the area, so I would try to like start walking faster, trying to tell them to hurry. And it was always like kind of cold. Like I remember being cold, and I remember seeing a little bit of snow covering the ground here and there, like it was melting. And I remember this thing being in a tree. It looked like, I don't know, it was like a bird, like kind of like the way those, I don't know what the fuck it's called, like the dinosaurs that look like birds. It kind of looked like that, but it was so much bigger than that. Like it would actually be as big as like one of the pine trees, like just sitting in the tree, and you could see the eyes, like it had glowing red eyes, and I could see it. But I would tell my mom or my uncle, like, it's right there in the tree, and they'd be like, there's nothing there. But I could see it when they're looking at it, so like I would be the only one to see it. And like I could see these glowing red eyes watching us. And then as we're walking, and the further we get away from this tree, like I would see it jump from tree to tree, all the way until like every time we would get so close to the truck, it would take one of us, or like it would come and pick me up, like it would taunt me all the way until we get there. And we never really made it to the truck. Every dream I had of this particular dream, we never made it to the truck. I would either wake up screaming, I would wake up crying, I would wake up like just lost for words. Like, I would wake, like, it was a nightmare for me. Like, I would literally wake up just screaming. And, like, I've had this dream, like, maybe 2 or 3 times a month for, like, a few years. And I stopped having that dream for a while. And then I had it maybe when I was, like, around 20, 21 years old. And then I recently had it again about 2 years ago. And this time when I dreamt about it, same exact setting. Like, my mind and my age, like, I knew that I was 5 years old, but I wasn't 5. Like, I was seeing in my own eyes as a child again. Like, I could see everything like the way I used to see it, but, like, I was the age that I am now, but, like, I still look like a child. And everything played out exactly the same way. I mean, from the white trailer to the truck, it being further, the dirt road, everything looked exactly the same. But this time it was kind of like a lucid dream. Like, I kind of knew, like, I was asleep already, and I was kind of just like I was awake and alert just a little bit. Like, I could still hear the fan going. I could still hear the TV on. I could still hear people talking in my sleep. Like, I could still hear things, but, like, I could hear things that are actually happening, and I could actually hear the things that were happening in my dream. And there was always a certain point that we would get where I would hear the whistle. And at this point, like, when we're getting closer and closer and closer, and I remember, I mean, exactly the same. Nothing different at all. I mean, from the first time I had this dream to the last time I had this dream, everything was exactly the same. And if you think about that, that's like 22-year difference of when I first had it to now. And I mean, everything was the same. The placement of the trees, the placement of the snow, the placement of the house, the placement of the truck. Everything was exactly the same. There was no difference at all, besides that me knowing that I was, like, this age, like, I was 25 years old. And knowing that this, like, I've seen this before. I've been here before. All this is, like, I remember all of this. I'm taking all this in. But I can actually, like, compare to what used to happen to now. And, like, me seeing so many things, like, from then to now, like, dealing with so much evil things, with evil people, overcoming, like, all the things that I've overcome in the past few years. Like, I just was not afraid of this thing anymore. Like, I've been here. Like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. That's how I felt walking down this dirt road with my mom and my uncle. See, like I was saying, like, my mind and everything was my age now, but I still looked like I was 5 years old. And, like, for step, every step we took, like, I started remembering more and more and more, like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Like, it was, like, that detailed for me in my dream. So, like I said, every time we got to a certain point, this thing would make a whistle. And I remember it, the whistle. I mean, even now I can remember it. Like, it's so loud and high pitched and distinct. Like, if I were to actually hear it in real life, like, I would actually recognize it. That's how distinct this whistle is. And I remember spinning around and turning towards the tree that it usually sits in. And it was sitting there, red eyes glowing and everything. But this time I didn't tell my mom or my uncle, like, we need to get out of here. I didn't say none of that. But I do remember grabbing my mom's hand and my uncle's hand, and I started walking faster with them. Then they weren't walking as fast as I wanted them to, but, like, they were walking with me. We were walking hand in hand all the way back to the truck. And I could hear this thing jumping from tree to tree. Like, you could hear, like, the bushes and, like, the tree itself, like, the brush, everything, like, shaking and moving, the leaves and everything. The wind was blowing, so it's kind of making it hard to hear, but you could actually hear this thing, like, clawing into the trees every time it jumped. And I remember it getting closer and closer, and I remembered we never make it to the truck. This time, when it jumped again, like, right before it was going to get to us, like, one tree away from us, when it jumped to that last tree, like, I remember spinning around, like, my 5-year-old self. I spun around, and my mom and my uncle were standing there, like, they let go, like, they were trying to hold my hand, but I remember spinning around so fast that I let both of their hands go. And I remember staring into the darkness, and I could hear it, and I could see it, I could just feel it, like, its eyes watching me. And I remember yelling out loud, like, I know you're there, I'm not afraid anymore. And, like, you could just hear this thing, like, breathing, and it was just this ugly sound, like this distinct, it was just so distinct. Like I said, like if I would actually hear it in real life, I could recognize like the sound it was making, the whistles it was making, just like the way it felt, like that eerie feeling when you know somebody's watching you. All of those things, I could probably recognize it if I actually seen it in real life. Like that's how distinct it is. And I remember saying that, it's like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Like, come face me. Like, that's how I felt. And that's the things that I said. And this thing let out such an ugly ass growl. And then it was gone. Like, the air, the wind, everything just went still. And I remember, like, standing there for a couple seconds, making sure, like, is it really gone? And then my mom and uncle were like, let's go. In my dream. So I turned around and I grabbed both their hands. We made it to the truck. And we got into the truck, put our seatbelts on, because it was like a single cab. It was a single cab gold truck. It was my grandpa's truck a long time ago. And for me to see that, like, the detail of everything is just, it's so, like, surreal, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so weird to actually remember the detail of certain dreams, because sometimes when you dream, you don't remember every little thing. But I've been having this dream for so long that I remember everything. So for me to get in the truck, to make it into the truck, to actually get in the truck, like drive out towards the highway, like we go over Cattle Guard and then we get onto the highway to go back towards St. Michael's. And I remember driving down that way and like to myself, like I felt like I overcome this thing, like all the things I've been through, everything that I've overcome, like my depression, my anxiety, like all of these things that I've been dealing with for such a long time, like it just kind of passed away. You know what I mean? Like I actually overcame all these things. Like this is one of the things that's been tormenting me for such a long time, such a young age. And then for me to finally reach that point where like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Like you don't scare me anymore. Like I'm stronger than you are. Like in my own way, I guess, like I was always stronger than it, but it always put fear on me to hold me back. But now that I'm older and I understand, like, you know, like I can pray, I can stand up for myself, I can stand against evil or whatever it is that's trying to hinder me in any way. Like as long as I pray and understand, you know what I mean, like I have the understanding, like I can always overcome whatever's trying to hinder me or harm me or put me in danger in any way. And for me to have this dream again, and then for me to finally make it to the highway, is kind of like, my understanding is like I finally passed the test of what, like that faith or that belief, or like I'm finally not afraid of whatever that was. Like I finally passed like that passing point. Like I finally passed it. Like I overcame it, and I haven't had that dream since. It's been like 2 years and I haven't had it at all. And I just want to tell you guys that because I know a lot of people have a lot of dreams like that. I have cousins that have dreams like that. I have my sisters that have dreams like that. And I know that there's something that always scares you, something that holds you back, but everything that happens to us, everything that we dream about, anything that we're afraid of, we can always overcome it. We can overcome fear. We can, you know, bypass or surpass anything that's holding us back. And whether it's today, tomorrow, or the next day, we can always overcome what holds us back. And, you know, having faith, and even if it's not even, if you don't believe in God or anything, but having faith in yourself, or having hope in yourself, or your loved ones, or people that you care for in any way and form. And, you know, it's always good to have faith in something, to believe that something's gonna get better, something's gonna come your way. You know what I mean? It's just about knowing that everything is always temporary, and good things always come to those who wait. And I've been waiting for a long time, and everything that's coming my way now is just, I know a lot of it's been bad, and I understand that we have to go through trials and to understand certain things, but I'm glad that I understand a lot of stuff. I'm glad that I can share with you guys, especially the things that I go through, because there's a lot of people that are lost, and, you know, they tried to communicate with pastors, with preachers, with priests, and a lot of people don't actually get the answers that they're looking for, because those people, I don't want to say those people because I believe as well, but I just don't want you to think that, oh, they're in a church so they're not going to listen to me. The church world, sometimes the teaching isn't always what you're looking for, but it's for the people that actually believe in Christ, that want to help you, that want to make you understand or help you understand, or to show you a different way to understand. You know, like I say, like there's no two people that look at the same picture the same way. You know, I could look at a picture black and white, and somebody can look at it and see the most colorful thing they've seen in their life. You know what I mean? There's just so many people in this world that don't always understand, but like my belief in through God and Jesus and faith, I mean, we probably will never see on the same level, but we'll be communicating in the way where we're both looking at the same thing. We have similar understandings, and you can always grow to learn more. I mean, everybody has a different way of learning. Everybody has a different way of understanding. But just knowing that there's something there to communicate with or to, like there's a form of communication, it's always good. But I just wanted to tell you guys this story. I mean, like I said before, like when I had dealing with so much stuff with my anxiety, depression, like I just felt like my memory was gone. And now that I haven't felt that way in like a while now, like all these memories of like the past, like dreams, like bad experiences, like scary stories, like all these like stories, it's all coming back to me. And I want to share with you guys. Like I said, I want to do a lot more videos for you guys. I want to share more stories. I want to start doing tutorials, hopefully like reviews, stuff like that for you guys. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. All my social media will be in the description below if you guys want to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram. I hardly use Facebook. Like I do get on Facebook, but it's not as often as I do like Instagram and Snapchat. But if you guys want to follow that, that will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!